The White House just released a nutrition masterclass on how to spread misinformation. They went around the White House, they found a couple of illiterate adults, and they asked them to read an ingredients list, which they weren't able to do, and therefore, the ingredients on the list must be bad. Sound logic, it makes a lot of sense.
Carrageenan, Riboflavin, monosodium glutamate, and 20 others that I can't pronounce.
It doesn't sound good. Polysorbate 80, that stuff's really bad. Sodium cereal.
Sodium steroid lactylate. I think you're getting the picture that you can't pronounce this stuff.
Sodium gilionate, titanium dioxides, Polysorbate 80, BHT TBHQ. The Make America Healthy Again movement is the strongest movement in America because it contains moms.
And the most exciting thing today is dozens of MAHA moms that have made their way to Washington, D.C. to continue the righteous work to ensure that we have the best, the safest, and the most transparent food supply in American history, as we all work, as a MAHA mom myself, to ensure that all of our kids going forward can live a healthy, incredible life that we can provide in this country.
If you are an American company poisoning us with ingredients you don't use in other countries, we're coming for you.
Wow, that was fun. I've never seen so many grown-ass adults be so confidently wrong at the same time. I'm honestly pretty impressed. We've got an entire country panicking over ingredient names they can't read, and one of them they listed is quite literally just vitamin B. I'm also very glad that we did only get the experts from around the White House to comment on this. All the MAHA moms are the expertise that we've been looking for in our society. Let's go through every ingredient, break it down into what it is, what it does, and if there's any reason you should actually be concerned about it. The first ingredient, Carrageenan. Carrageenan. Said exactly as it's spelled. This super scary ingredient that you should absolutely avoid is a derivative of seaweed. Carrageenan is an emulsifier found in many dairy products. Emulsifying meaning that it holds all the components together, giving it a nice uniform texture. Holds things together like diet soda holds my mental health together when I'm dieting. Here's your first scientific fact. The World Health Organization set a safe intake limit at 75 milligrams of Carrageenan per kilogram of body weight. And would you like to take a gander as to how many milligrams of Carrageenan are found in your typical dairy products? A typical food product with Carrageenan in it is going to have about 15 milligrams per 100 milliliters of fluid. So you would have to drink gallons and gallons and gallons of milk or whatever dairy product you're consuming to even be close to being at risk for any potential negative health outcomes. You would be shitting out straight up milk before you are able to consume enough Carrageenan to have any negative impact on your health. So no, Carrageenan is not poisoning you. Ingredient number 2, Riboflavin. Riboflavin is vitamin B2, used in many essential functions in your body. It is also a water-soluble vitamin, meaning that if you were to consume too much of it, you would simply urinate it out. Vitamin B2 plays an incredibly important role in energy production and the formation of red blood cells, two things which are very essential for you to live. The only horror associated with B vitamins is the amount of people who don't get enough of them. The third ingredient noted is monosodium glutamate, which is also known as MSG, and this is where things just start to feel racist. MSG is one of the most misunderstood food additives in history. It's been commonly blamed for things like headaches and obesity, but let's talk about what the science actually says. MSG is a naturally occurring amino acid found in things like cheese, tomatoes, and red meats. All foods which this group of people would say you should eat, but not when it's been added to your food for some unknown reason. MSG is traditionally found in a lot of Chinese foods. It gives you that umami flavor that you know and love. Some really silly little guys who are probably also racist are going to tell you that MSG causes obesity when it does not, my friend. But there has been an association between MSG and obesity, which is completely different than something that causes obesity. The association being that MSG is typically found in highly palatable, high-calorie foods, which then contributes to overconsumption and weight gain, which sure, could be associated with obesity, but it is not the single ingredient MSG that is causing the problem. It's chronic overconsumption and sedentary lifestyle. So if you're fine eating a tomato but not eating ramen or Chinese food, you seriously need to do some evaluation and reflection on the life decisions that you're making. Ingredient number 4, sodium stearoyl lactulate. This is the only one, which is kind of hard to say. It's an emulsifier commonly found in baked goods to help improve texture and improve shelf life. It's kind of like you using filters for your dating profile pictures, except this one actually works to improve the end product. The FDA generally recognizes 25 milligrams per kilogram of body weight intake per day to be safe. And a slice of bread typically contains less than 1 milligram of this. So yes, your sandwich is perfectly safe to eat and your bread is perfectly safe to consume. Ingredient number 5 is disodium guanylate. This is another flavor enhancer traditionally found in Asian cuisine, similar to MSG, improving the umami flavor. And as I said, this is where things start to feel racist. This ingredient is the only one where you might actually have something to be worried about. Disodium guanylate contains compounds called purines. For people who have gout, eating purines may increase the probability of them having a flare-up. So if you have gout, you truly do probably want to avoid this to the best of your ability, or again, focus on consuming it in moderation. But for healthy adults, there's no noted health concerns related to this. I'm starting to see a bit of a theme here where nobody knows what they're talking about. Ingredient number 6, titanium dioxide, and just because it's a metal does not mean it's bad for you. You eat iron every day and you know that's good for you, so shut up. Titanium dioxide is commonly used as a whitener in processed foods. And this ingredient can be very, very, very harmful to you if you inhale it. But lucky for you, unless you're a little piggy, you're probably not inhaling your food. Some studies suggest that there is potential DNA damage, most of that data being sourced from animals. Again, the data is incredibly inconclusive, but it was banned by the European Food Safety Authority in 2022 as a precaution. In Europe, they are very cautious. Anything that might even potentially be a concern is usually banned, which is why they have so many food ingredient bans that morons on the internet like to suggest is going to be indicative of everybody's overall health. The FDA and many other health organizations worldwide consider this to be perfectly safe to consume. If you're planning on chugging gallons of titanium dioxide, maybe don't. And I'm gonna do the last 3 on this list rapid fire because they are essentially the same thing. Polysorbate 80, BHT, and TBHQ. These are preservatives used in your food to help keep it fresh, improve the shelf life, also indirectly decreases the cost because you can store food for longer, prepare it in bulk, that kind of thing. High doses of all 3 of these in animal studies are found to have some negative effects, but lucky for us, we are not animals. Polysorbate 80, used as an emulsifier, has been noted in animal studies when consumed in egregious quantities to have a negative effect on your gut microbiome. In these studies, they use doses which are far beyond what you would consume in an average day as a human, and they also use them on animals. So not only did they give too much, they also did it on something that wasn't a human. So with the data we have, we don't have anything to be concerned about. BHT and TBHQ are antioxidants used in oils to help prevent them from going rancid. The estimated acceptable daily intake limit is 0.7 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. So if you're an 100 kilo male, that is 70 milligrams a day. And in the processed foods that you're going to find these ingredients in, there's usually going to be amounts less than 1 milligram. So unless you're going to be consuming 70 servings of Pop-Tarts today, I don't think you have anything to worry about. The moral of the story that I want you to take away today is that the dose makes the poison. If you're not consuming an ingredient to an excess amount, there is no reason for you to be concerned about it. And the amount we use in food is nowhere near excess, even if you consume that food excessively. Let's talk about the true health and food crisis that America faces. There are alarmingly high rates of food insecurity, meaning that there are many people in America, including Canada and the United States, who go without eating food. Millions of Americans struggle to find nutritious and affordable foods, while other ones sitting in the White House are complaining about single ingredients in those foods. Can we start with feeding people first, and then maybe afterwards we can start to complain about the ingredients in them? And can we please focus on the ones that might actually be doing us harm? Ultra-processed food consumption is also at an all-time high. And it's not the ingredients in these foods that's the problem, it's the extra calories associated with them. The average American eats over 3,500 calories a day while remaining mostly sedentary. So they don't have anything to do with this excess energy that they're usually getting from processed foods, which have low quality nutrition. Instead of focusing on the single ingredients found in our foods, we need to focus on ways to get people access to affordable, high-quality foods and promote exercise within the population. There is no single ingredient that causes obesity or any sort of chronic disease. Let's stop fear-mongering and let's talk about shit that actually matters and actually make a difference and the health of Americans. If you want evidence-based nutrition information like this, I highly recommend you subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.